Okay. Okay. Child, I finally got this thing doing what I needed to do, honey. Wait, let me change. Let me change this. Here we go. Now, hi. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you guys so much for either pulling up and catching this live and or catching the playback. Okay, y'all know who it is. It's your girl Vanshay, aka Melanated Dope. Come on in the room. Pull up on your girl. Okay, yo, it took me the longest to realize that I had to exit out of the studio and come back in. Like, and I don't even know how to get this StreamYard thing off. There we go. Oh, see, I told y'all, like, we're in the age of Aquarius, and I really got to get better with this software, okay? But anyway, let's get into it. Thank you guys. I'm not going to be here before you long. However, I thought that it would be really cool to talk about one origin story of Easter, okay? Um, so for many of you who has a Christian upbringing, you know what I'm saying? Today you would be celebrating the rising of the sun. Okay, the Jesus's resurrection, right? And look, as I'm talking about, I'll show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all in a minute what I'm looking at. But yeah. So it's Easter Sunday. So as you know, if you are a Christian, if you go to church, then you're celebrating when they crucified Jesus, and then 3 days later he rose on a Sunday. So if we're thinking of like they crucified him on what, a Thursday or Friday, and then boom, he was out that bitch on a Sunday. Yay. All right, so yeah, I don't have to go through all of I'm not gonna go through the story of Jesus and how he got to where he is, because I mean everybody should know that. You know what I'm saying? The focus and intention of this live is to talk about Ishtar. Okay? Now, I have my notes and I will be reading from them. So, Ishtar is a Sumerian goddess. Sumeria, okay, would be Mesopotamia, and Mesopotamia is now known. It's now where Iraq and northern Syria are. So it's Assyrian and Babylonian culture. Okay, so Assyrian culture is North Mesopotamia. So again, northern Syria, and then Babylonia would be Mesopotamia South, which is Iraq. Okay. So there's a little geography for you. Now, a couple of background notes about Ishtar. And Ishtar is the goddess of fertility and love and war. Okay. As the goddess of love and sexuality, she is often depicted as seductive and passionate. Okay, she is associated with fertility, both human and agricultural. So when we talk about agriculture, then we're talking about gardening, right? Flowers blooming, spring. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Um, where else are we going? Um, in celebration of Ishtar, a lot of the times orgies were had in the temple, right along with the temple prostitutes. Hey, Faith, how are you, boo? Okay, I did it. Did it still do? Oh, I don't know. Are you on regular Facebook, Faith, or are you in a group? You got to be on regular Facebook since I can see you. I thought I didn't put it on regular Facebook, but it don't even matter no more, girl. I'm just glad you're here. Okay, thank you for pulling up. Um, oh, okay, so yeah, so yeah, they was having them good old little orgy, and then they had temple prostitutes. These were prostitutes. These was women selling coochie in the name of the gods. Temple prostitutes. The concubines, okay? Also known as a fierce warrior goddess, she's also often shown armed and or armored. She is associated with victory in battles. Okay. The planet that rules Ishtar is the planet Venus. Okay. Also known as the morning and the evening star. So the what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word, but this symbolizes being beautiful and war duality. There we go. So Venus is a planet of duality, both love and war, right? Like just as much as Venus loves the fuck out of you, right? She'll fight you too, and or go to war for you. Okay, it just depends on which side that you're on. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so jumping into the meat of these things. Those are just some little cliff notes. So jump into the meat of it. Where we at? So Ishtar, right? Where we at? Oh, the definition of Easter. Okay, and this is coming from the Catholic Encyclopedia, right? So this is when we think of Catholicism, this is like the mother of the Christian religion, right? So the Catholic Encyclopedia says Easter in English term relates to Estri, the Teutonic goddess of the rising of day in spring. Okay, she is also the wife of Baal. Okay, Baal as in Beelzebub, which is also another name for the devil or Satan. So Ishtar, okay, is the wife of Satan. Okay. There's also some known parallels between the goddess Ishtar and Isis. However, that's a subject for another live. Okay, I will go deeper into how it ties into Kemet later on down the line as I do more videos. Okay. Where we at? All right, so now that you got a little background on Ishtar, let me tell you how Ishtar became Ishtar. Now, before she became Ishtar, she was known as Semiramis, Sumerian, Semiramis. I suck at pronouncing these sometimes. So Semiramis, right? Semiramis. Okay, Semiramis was the wife of Nimrod, the king of Babylon. Nimrod, also known as Beelzebub. Okay, Tower of Babel. Okay, so look, listen. If y'all don't know these stories out of the Bible, you're gonna have to go back and do your own. And also, here's my disclaimer. I should have gave my disclaimer in the beginning. Like, this is not the end all be all knowledge of Ishtar and all of the connections, because it's like you start with a name and then you weave the web of knowledge. You get what I'm saying? So because it expands, it's so expansive, it's so many stories about it. So this is not the end all be all. So I'm just giving y'all breadcrumbs, and I want you to follow the breadcrumbs. I want you to go down as many rabbit holes as you can. I want you to decolonize your faith. That is the purpose of these lives and me talking, right? This is so that you can learn the origins and learn how all this shit started with us. Okay. Okay. So yeah, and you know what I'm saying, all these Christian holidays are pagan. They started somewhere in the occult. The Council of Nice, NICA, right? They picked apart the Bible, because the Bible really was a collection of different stories of niggas, okay, of black people in these times, right? And they picked apart and they picked what they wanted, okay? And so with that being said, here's how they got the story of Easter and Jesus rising and all this, okay? So back to it. Semiramis is the wife of Nimrod. Nimrod is Baal, aka Satan. So this is the wife of Satan, so on and so forth. Nimrod, being the king of Babylon, was punished for his rebellion at the Tower of Babel, okay, by Noah's son Shem. Okay, Shem cut his body up in many pieces and sent them off to the surrounding cities to say, hey, y'all niggas choose to worship these idol gods, and this is what's gonna happen. So this was their warning against idolatry. Hey, baby, back out. Bye. Oh, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, thank you for your patience. Forgot to lock my door. So, where were we? Noah's son Shem cut Nimrod up and sent him to everybody to say, hey, this is what's gonna happen if y'all keep worshiping these idol gods. Okay? All right, boom. Ooh. Okay. Nimrod's wife, Semiramis, claimed that he did not actually die, but ascended into heaven and became the sun god. Okay. So now she, being the wife of this risen God, is now a goddess, right? Because like this only right. Like if I'm married to this nigga that rose into God state, that makes me a goddess. I get where she was going. Okay. So she taught her people, right, that the moon was a goddess and that went through a 28-day cycle of ovulation, and then a 28-day cycle, okay, and then ovulated at the full moon. Hold that thought, right? So she then claimed that she came down from the moon, right, in a giant egg. 28-day cycle, ovulation, egg drops down. She fell down from the moon, and a giant egg fell into the Euphrates River and hatched open into this goddess, Ishtar, this naked, bare-breasted goddess. There's another story, okay, about someone ascending from heaven into a river, and I want to say it was Aphrodite. I want to say, but I'm not sure. But anyway, staying on the subject of Ishtar, right? So now we have Ishtar and Semiramis has hatched from this giant moon egg, and she's now Ishtar. All right. So this happened. This is what's being claimed, that this happened during the first full moon after the spring equinox. Okay. So her moon egg then became known as Ishtar's egg. Okay. She laid claim that she became pregnant by the rays of the sun, right? And then gave birth to how do I say this? Tammuz, right? Okay. So now Ishtar then gave birth to Nimrod's son, Tammuz. Okay. Now Tammuz, growing up, was known to be fond of rabbits. Okay. And then he also, because Nimrod, his dad was known as a great hunter, so he took after his dad. And so he was known to be a great hunter. However, at the age of 40, he was killed by a wild boar, right? All right. So after being killed by this wild boar, Ishtar took his love of rabbits and made rabbits the symbol of fertility and sexuality. Where else do we see rabbits as a symbol of sexuality? Anybody? Anybody? If you said Playboy, you would be right. Okay, so we see where the symbol of rabbit, you know what I'm saying, crosses over into other, you know what I'm saying, it's still used for sexuality, not just for I mean, yeah, not just for the worship of these goddesses, but we see where non-believers take these symbols, quote unquote non-believers, because truth be told, they know our history better than we do, right? Okay. So Ishtar now uses this as the rabbits as the sign of sexual desire and fertility. By the time Tammuz was killed, Ishtar already got the people worshiping her as a goddess. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So, but yeah, so Ishtar got the people worshiping her as the mother of God, okay, and the queen of heaven. Heaven. The queen of heaven. All right. So she then started a 40-day period of sorrow. Okay. So for 40 days, um, okay, so let me back up. After the death of Tammuz, every year, as they would celebrate, they would mourn his death, okay, for 40 days, right, as a period of sorrow prior to the anniversary of his death. And during these 40 days, they would not eat meat during this time. Who's participating in the fast for 40 days, okay, with no meat or just no food at all? There's a couple of cultures that do this. We're talking Catholics, we're talking some Christians, and we're even talking about the Muslims, right? Ramadan. Okay. So here we are. Each year at the first Sunday after the first full moon. Oh, now we. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. I didn't say this next section. This next little part, right, is gonna be the actual history of Easter. Like this is the feast and the ritual that these people would participate in, and to celebrate Easter. So each year after his death, each year they at the first Sunday after the first full moon at sunrise mass. This is why Easter moves around, okay? Because it is always whenever the first Sunday is after the spring equinox, okay, after the first full moon after the spring equinox. So you gotta have that full moon, then you got Easter. Okay. Because I think my mom Colin, she had posted about that, and I was like, that's so interesting because I was gonna talk about that today. So anyway, so here you have they would have the priest of Easter, right? So they would, and remember I told you that they would have orgies and temple prostitutes. However, these were not prostitutes. The Easter priest would impregnate at the altar, would impregnate a bunch of virgins, right? So once they had those babies, 3 months later, okay, 3 months time. By the time they had these babies, 3 months later, on the day of at sunrise, they would sacrifice those babies that these women had. They would sacrifice those babies, and then the Easter priest would dye Ishtar's eggs in the blood of those babies. Who else be dyeing eggs at Easter time? Yes. You see what I'm saying? So it's really crazy how the Christian faith has taken these pagan beliefs and turned them, you know what I'm saying, and got us worshiping, and we're not even calling these gods by their real names. Like, we literally are doing the exact same rituals, but with whatever modifications the Council of Niche put in. Okay, there's a hold on, let me look them up on YouTube, right? Because what I just read from you, I got it from, what was this man's name? I'm gonna find it. Tiborosaurus Rex and its Easter history. So go watch that video, because he had go watch it so you could get the whole thing. Because like I said, I'm just giving y'all snippets and breadcrumbs, but you can go watch this whole video, right? And I'll make sure I drop the video in and let me write that down after this. Drop video in description. But yeah, so yeah, I just want y'all to start like doing your own research. You know how they say lean not unto your own understanding? That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? That's a lie. Because if I sit here and study, if I go and watch these lectures and read these books, I'm gonna lean on my understanding and the understanding of these knowledgeable scholars. You know what I'm saying? The reason why they tell you to lean not on your own understanding is that they really want you to just lean on theirs. You know what I'm saying? But that's not that in the age of Aquarius, in the age of everything at your fingertips, okay? There is no reason for you to still be, you know what I'm saying, celebrating these holidays without knowing where the fuck they come from. Okay? So yeah. So while we sit here and talk, you know what I'm saying, celebrate Jesus being hung on a cross and then becoming this zombie, you know what I'm saying? The truth of the matter is, they were sacrificing babies on the altar. They were sacrificing sons on the altar, sons and daughters, because you know what I'm saying, it wasn't guaranteed to be a boy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, ain't it? It's just crazy. So anyway, like I said, I'm not gonna be in front of y'all long for this video. However, I'm gonna spin the block in about 10 minutes, and I'm going to do spirit check for this week. Okay, and oh yeah, and it's the first of the month. Okay, it's the first of the month. Wake up. So yeah, so come join me. I'll like I said, I'll be spinning the block. I'll be live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay, so yeah, go do your research. Plenty of YouTube videos on the origin of Easter, who Jesus truly was. One of my favorite lectures to watch is Dr. Barashango. He's where I get the nickname Jerusalem Slim from for Jesus. I love that nickname. You know what I'm saying? Because Devontae Christopher Christ, okay? Jesus Devontae Christopher Christ was a North African black man. You know what I'm saying? That they crucified, that they hung, they lynched this black man who was trying to free his people. Okay? Speaking of which, while we are sitting here celebrating, well, not we, because I'm not celebrating Easter in the same way. However, y'all know they're still bombing the land that they say Jesus was born on? Huh? They're killing the original people of that land. They're killing the Palestinians. Shit is crazy. But anyway, all right. That's it. That's all. Thank you guys for joining me live and or catching this playback. I love you and appreciate you. And like I said, I will be spinning the block and doing spirit chat. You know, where I shuffle these cards and get a message from my ancestors in spirit, guys. It is the first of the month. Tomorrow's April 1st, April Fool's Day. Tonight, make sure y'all clean up your house. Okay, blow that salt out the door, or sprinkle some salt at the back of your house. Sweep it out to the front, and go ahead and dispose of that salt when you do that. Okay, go ahead and put it on outside. That's carrying the negative energy out. Yeah. All right. Pull up on my live, shuffling those cards, and we'll talk more about the first of the month rituals. All right. Love y'all. Peace. Oh, wait. I wanted to show y'all something. Hold on. Before we go, in honor of the resurrection, right? Hold on. I'm going to figure this out. It's not going to let me do it, is it? Well, you know what? It ain't got to. Because all I got to do is bring it down. Okay. So, there's this beautiful flower called the Rose of Jericho, aka the resurrection flower, right? You can find this at your local botanica most of the time. Hold on, can y'all see it? Oh, there we go. So originally it was closed off, and now I got it in some water, and she is coming back to life. Back to life. So that is how I am honoring the resurrection. This flower is really good for here we go. Can y'all see that? Spilled a little water. Prosperity. Okay, and bringing in them coins, right? I told y'all it's the first of the month. There you go. Mm-hmm. Look, I'm fucking up. But anyway. All right, y'all. I'm ending this live. Y'all come back and see me for Spirit Chat.